Michael Sandler, your host on Inspire Nation. If you've ever wondered why there's so much ET news coming out right now, and if there's a giant cover-up, then do we have the show for you. Today, I'll be talking with Cory, the documentary filmmaker behind Among Us and A Tear in the Sky. And that's just what I want to talk with her about why news is coming out, what's going on above, and if there's a divine plan, dark plan, or light plan at work. So welcome back to the show, Carolyn. Are you ready to shine?
I am shining already.
And yes, you are there on the cosmos, which begets the question before we dive right into things, Carolyn. Are we alone here on Earth?
We are so alone. You have no idea.
Why do I not believe you? Why do I not believe you?
A break. Give me a break. Is it even possible? Like, people who think we're still alone in the universe, like, what are they thinking? Sorry. No, but seriously, it doesn't even make sense. I mean, even the Drake equation tells us it's impossible to not have other civilizations inhabiting this universe. So there
but
you
going
have.
Beyond that, we're not talking about other civilizations in the universe, other civilizations having visited us or visiting us or here among us.
Okay, let me start with something that will blow your mind. Okay. Usually I save this to a little bit later in the show when we've warmed up a little bit, but let's start with the bang. Okay.
All right. I'm down.
I interviewed a very well-known geneticist. His name is Garry Nolan, if you've heard of him. And it was for my movie Among Us. For everybody should watch this movie. It's so cool.
Agreed.
And I asked, we were talking about DNA. We're talking about the human DNA. And I said, because people talk about the junk DNA and this and that. And then all of a sudden.
And I'll put that in quotes, junk DNA.
Yeah, right. And then I said, can you tell me about the human DNA, how it came about, And of course, I have my own theory. And he goes, as we are studying the human DNA, we notice that it follows Moore's law. For people who don't know what Moore's law is, it's basically an algorithm. It's usually they're used for electronics and electrical systems. They notice that those systems multiply in complexity every so years. So meaning every 2 years, that system becomes double the complexity. Every 2 years, double that. And so as they were studying the way the human DNA came about, they realized that it follows a Moore's law. So they went back from today, let's say, backwards in time, 600 million years. And every time they would go back 600 million years, it would double in complexity, meaning 600 million years, half the complexity, 600 million years, half the complexity, 600 million. Does that make sense? So they kept going back to see where
we're going to run out of time, Carolyn, meaning yours going to run out of time, meaning you're talking about well before the Earth existed, aren't you?
Exactly. Boom. So anyway, they kept going back in time to see where it started. And it turned out that the very first time the DNA appeared was 9 billion years ago. So how old is the Earth?
6 billion, maybe 2 billion, depending on who you hear. It ain't 9 billion years old.
Exactly. So how is it possible that the human DNA is 9 billion years? This is scientifically demonstrated, right? And it existed somewhere before the Earth existed. So this means that the human DNA originated somewhere else and was brought here. So why is it so impossible to think that DNA comes from somewhere else? Intelligent life is brought from somewhere else to inhabit a certain planet. If this happened with humans, then why wouldn't it happen with other civilizations? You see, that's the point.